It's about 3 a.m. in the morning, and it's the 23rd of February 2019. And this is another egotistical log, a log only I care about. And this time it's about media, a type of media that I really enjoy, and that is obsolete media. And I think obsolete media is one of the most interesting cases, one of the most interesting topics, period, for many reasons. For one, I grew up with VHS cassettes, with a Windows 98 computer, I think, and then we basically progressed through XP, Vista, Windows 7, and now I use Windows 10. And there is a lot of memories associated with using this old computer and playing flash games on a CRT monitor. And it's something that I want to get back to, because what the internet was back then and how it is now, it's two different worlds, and I really miss a certain element on how it was back then. Now everything is corporate. Today everything is now everything is corporate, and back then it was much more personal. It was something different. It wasn't about making money. It was more about, just people creating stupid fucking flash games about killing celebrities. And that was it. And yeah, I guess it's not only about media, it's also about the internet, or how we consume media. Everything got more complicated. On one hand, everything got more complicated. On the other hand, things got simpler. Things got a bit easier. How we use certain sites has diverged from how we used them before. But yeah, I would say there are 2 or 3 different parts to this. For one, the preservation of old media, of obsolete media, then the appreciation of obsolete media, and then I guess the more extreme part is the usage of obsolete media. Because why would you even use media that is maybe older than you yourself are just because you want to? Is there a reason to still own consoles from the 90s, even though emulators exist? Is there still a reason why you should buy music on vinyl or on tape? Why would you buy music on tape? Why would you even use cassettes? Why would you use VHS? Why would you use a CRT monitor? Those are pretty valid questions nowadays, because we are based to QLED monitors. We're very much accustomed to QLED, to LED, to whatever kind of monitor. We're accustomed to full HD. We're accustomed to lossless WAV files. We are accustomed to just finding anything on YouTube. But it's just boring. After a while it gets boring, and this is something that I am experiencing almost every week, basically almost every day. I go on YouTube, I look around, it doesn't interest me anymore. I just look around and there are not enough videos that can keep me entertained. And sometimes I'm just stuck, rewatching my own videos to see if I can improve them somehow. And I don't enjoy it that much anymore. So I'm thinking, what can amuse me more? Aside from browsing YouTube like a maniac and not doing the things that I should do, I thought I immediately think of obsolete media again. I should contribute. I should do more. I should not only appreciate obsolete media. Maybe I should create something on obsolete media. Maybe I should use it more often in my daily life. Maybe I should salvage obsolete media and upload it on archive.org or on YouTube or anywhere else. And I actually did that once. On my YouTube channel, on my main channel, mind you, there is an album called Krismatsame, Spitting the Hostia, and that one was a very weird album. I bought that one in a record store here in Germany, in my hometown. Well, that's not really my hometown, but it's the town I live in. And it's an album by Italians, so Italians made that. And when listening to it, it was the weirdest fucking shit. Like, it was the weirdest music. It didn't really sound that good, to be honest, but I did some hunting. I looked at the contact addresses on the album, like on the cover, and I looked through all the names. I typed up the names on Facebook, and then with some regional searches, I actually found one of the men. Like one of the men that actually created this demo tape. His name was Guru, Metal Guru. And so I went on gurulandia.it, which is his website, I think. And it's just this weird fucking combination of everything. Like, just like the fonts and what was written and like, what the fuck? Like, it was a weird website. It was very Web 1.0, and I love Web 1.0. There's nothing greater than Web 1.0 era websites. There's nothing better than that. They're so personal. They're so interesting. They're so irreplaceable. There just isn't anything like that. So I found that website, and there is an email contact. So I contacted him on Facebook, but he didn't respond. So I wrote him an email. And he actually did respond. And I actually managed to get into contact with one of the band members of this failed band that made 100 demo tapes. Just sent them out, and I got some background info. So the group disbanded. There's no news from the group. He doesn't know what the other guys are doing, but they made that album. They made that album in one day. They recorded it in one day, sent off the demo tapes, and disbanded. They existed for one day. And he actually told me, hey, dude, if you want to upload it, you can do that. Like, I asked him, hey, can I upload this? He said yes. And I did. And I felt very good. I felt very good about it, because I felt like it contributed to salvaging a piece of media that would have been forgotten otherwise. There was no other video upload of that album anywhere. There was not one upload of it. And I was the first. I was the first guy to do it. And man, that feels so good. That feels really good. It does feel very good. And, for me, it's not only that area, like the salvaging part, but for instance, just sharing, like the sharing part is very important. For instance, a game came out lately. It's called White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. I think many people are not aware that this game actually originally came out in 2000. Was it 2001 or 2? And it was a very, very interesting game. The graphics, of course, they are very aged, but they hold up today, I would say, pretty well. And I kid you not, it's the scariest fucking game I've ever played. It's abandonware, you can just get it, but it's hard to get to run. Like, it's a pain in the ass. You have to patch it, you have to run it through a South Korean locale, and then you can actually use it. And it's a weird game, but it's a lot of fun, and the new game is not as scary. The first game actually made me almost have a fucking heart attack. There was like this scene where I descend down the stairs, and then there's just that fucking ghost girl pointing at a fucking amulet. It wasn't a jump scare. It was just like a ghost standing there. I walked down the stairs, didn't expect her. Oh my god, I was so fucking shocked about that. I had to take a break because I became physically ill, and that was amazing. Why? A piece of media that nowadays could be seen as irrelevant, or nowadays could be seen as, aged, outdated, forgotten, managed to do that to me. And I was able to appreciate that moment and look at it and think, that is impressive that this game can do that to me. Because normally horror games, they don't fuck me up like that, where I have to get off the game for 15 minutes, take a break, breathe in fresh air, and eat something to actually get ready to play the game again. No other game did this. Up until now, no other game did this. Even the recent Resident Evil 2, it just doesn't really scare me that much. It's just okay. It's sometimes there's a fucking tyrant, that fucking motherfucker. He walks up to you and shit, but that's it. The zombies are fucking brain dead, so it's not a problem, But when I think about White Day, Jesus Christ, that game, and it's abandonware. You can just get it. You can just get the original game for free. Why? It's not supported. Sonori doesn't support the game anymore, so you can just fucking grab it. You can just play it, and you can shit your fucking pants. Which is maybe not that good. Especially for you ladies, you have very expensive fucking panties. What the fuck, dude? Why are you spending? Why do you spend $50 for knickers? Some fucking panties. And come on, dude. Why? Is it to impress the guys? The guys don't fucking care about that. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play fucking Fortnite. I'm gonna play Fortnite. I don't know, man. Why? Why are you doing this? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Just get once for $5. That's alright. As long as, you don't get an itch, everything's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna shit your pants, or panties, and it's a good game. And why am I talking about that game? Because it's a piece of fucking obsolete media. It's obsolete media. Obsolete media is unknown. It's mysterious. It has an aura. And an aura, that's the good keyword here. Because there is obsolete media that is mysterious in a way, and how it functions and how it works. I have a Sony Handycam. I made a review on that, and it's my favorite camera that I have. It's so good. It's a camcorder, and it records to digital 8. No, not digital 8. It records to video 8 cassettes or high 8 cassettes. A very, very, very outdated piece of media, but it has an infrared it has an infrared capability, so you can shoot at night, something most cameras don't have today because of certain capabilities where you can look through clothing of people under the right conditions, and if the underwear reflects with the infrared light, you could see the underwear of other people. I tested it. It actually works. I tested it with a book and my shirt, so I could actually see the book under my shirt. That was weird, but it was amazing. And I actually did record videos with the camcorder, and they look surprisingly good, and they have that aesthetic feeling to them. Whenever I see a video now that replicates or tries to replicate the VHS or Video 8 look, I have seen the original, man. It doesn't look like that at all. It is not comparable. It's not the same. It doesn't look like that. So I bought new batteries. I bought a couple tapes. Now I have 3 tapes, I think, or 4, which are blank, and I can just use them. And sometimes I record stuff on the tapes for video projects. And I want to reuse them. Especially, I want to reuse the camcorder for a Manhunt review or a Manhunt game design video where, I want basically to get the feeling of you watching something that is forbidden, that you shouldn't watch. And this is what a digital DSLR, like one DSLR cannot replicate. A DSLR cannot give you that feeling of you watching something that you're not supposed to see. Something like a shitty camera phone, something like a shitty phone camera can do, like from a Sony Ericsson or something. Something that a VHS camcorder can do, or a Video 8 camcorder can do. These recording formats, they have a certain aura to them, where they are not replaceable. It's not just about the video quality. It's not just about the film. It's not just about the things you see. It's about the feeling. It's about the things you think about while watching them. Like, for instance, I had friends over, and we watched fucking Spirited Away, and it is on a cassette, on a VHS cassette, and sometimes the movie just dies. Like, sometimes the signal just dies out and it gets all weird, and some other times the sound is glitchy, and something about it is beautiful. I love watching movies like this. And also, like, one time with one of my mates, we watched like The Incredibles on VHS, and then we noticed that the movie was cropped and kind of ugly to look at in 4:3. It wasn't made for 4:3, but it was cropped. So we made some new discoveries, like how they distributed films. We made some pretty interesting insights into how VHS can actually function. And it doesn't end here. Obsolete media is not only obsolete, it's not only useless or pretty shitty like a video cassette, but with obsolete media you can achieve very high quality, higher quality than you can achieve with digital formats, and it can also be much more advantageous than any digital form, like any digital medium that we have right now. And it can also be very much secure. For instance, tape. When you think about tape, you think about the shitty audio cassettes which get eaten up by the shitty car radio while listening to some fucking modern talking. Because when you have this view, you live in these times in the fucking 80s, the 90s, where tapes were used around the world, the most used medium ever, and you know how bad it was when it went bad. You know how bad it is, but you most likely were not the person that had the privilege of using a hi-fi system, because with hi-fi audio equipment, your cassettes are not gonna get eaten up. They are not gonna get destroyed. If they get destroyed, it's your fault. And I do have the privilege of having a hi-fi system, including a cassette player, a radio that I don't use, a CD player which is really good, and a vinyl player, a turntable. And I did delve into obsolete music media, and it's one of the most interesting fields ever. And coming back to tape, if you use it correctly, tape can replicate such a high quality of audio that you will not be able to distinguish it between a lossless WAV file and a high quality audio recording on tape. It just is very hard to distinguish. Especially because tape has its own warmth, its own flavor to the sound, because that's something else that analog does. analog doesn't sound the same everywhere. It is different, and we have to also take into account that back then in the 90s there were very sophisticated encoding techniques and decoding techniques. For instance, using Dolby C, your audio quality gets drastically better and you will be able to enjoy much cleaner audio than you would be without this audio encoding technique. Tape also is used for data storage. If you want to store data, and that in a very secure way so that you have a reliable backup, as long as you don't put magnets near it, then you would store your projects, your files, your photos on tape. And that might seem like a joke, but no, it isn't. Tape is very much used for archival projects. For instance, if you have a whole library of projects that you have finished, or if you have a whole library of films, music, whatever that you got, let's say you torrented a lot of things and you want to store these things in a very secure place, put them on tape, take the tape, lock it somewhere and don't touch it, because that's backed up, baby. That's backed up. The only thing you need to do, get the tape reader, put the tape back in, read the files and copy the files from the tape to the computer, which is very much possible. These machines just cost a lot of money. So tape is not obsolete in a way, but in the public eye it is. But yeah, tape. That's one big favorite of mine because it's so underestimated for how good it actually is. And people look very dumb when they listen to me talk how good tape is, because there was one person on one server, for instance, on Discord, where I had a little discussion with, where I presented the amazing positives of cassette and why cassette is a bit underappreciated. And she really didn't believe that. And well, guess what? I mean, she made an ass out of herself because she, is not very open to, she wasn't really open to that. So, I don't know. I just let her blabber on, but she was wrong. She was wrong to say that cassettes just suck. It just isn't true. You maybe haven't used them correctly. I'm not saying that you didn't use them and that your experience is invalid, because most likely you are older than me. Most likely you lived in the mid-90s and you actually used cassette on a daily basis. I didn't. I say that, like, for me that is a late bloomer thing, but I need to say, if you recorded audio from shitty sources onto shitty cassettes and played them on shitty headphones, yes, you are not gonna like cassettes. But that maybe is the same for people that hate CDs. Maybe some people just had shitty playback devices with very, very shitty equipment and they just couldn't replicate good sound. Too bad, man. Too bad. But yeah, I'm going more and more into the obsolete media route because I see so many advantages into old products that newer products just don't have. For instance, my newest acquisition in the obsolete media emporium is a ThinkPad, a T60 from 2007. Cheeckens, why would you do this? Why would you spend $80 on that fucking thing? Well, I did that for mainly just one reason. That thing is fucking reliable. That's reliable. It's indestructible. It has many ports. It has many it is very easy to service, and you can even pour water on this thing while it's running and it won't die. That's insane. That's completely insane, and I never saw anything else. I never saw anything more insane than watching this video of this guy pouring water on that ThinkPad, and there were drainage holes so the water poured through the laptop and it was running and playing a video. How do you do that? How do you even design a product like this? That is amazing industrial design, and it's 12 years old. And today, when you accidentally, not on purpose, when you accidentally pour water on your keyboard, what's gonna happen? Most likely it's gonna die, and most likely you have to at least replace the keyboard, or at worst replace your fucking laptop. So it's pretty bad. The thing is also indestructible. You can't throw it off a fucking building, it will work. And yeah, it definitely is very good for watching dirty videos online. It's pretty good for chatting with people because the keyboard is amazing, and it's also pretty good for writing scripts. Every single script for a video that I do is written on a ThinkPad. I don't use my computer for that anymore. It's amazing. But yeah, now the thing I am thinking about getting when it comes to obsolete media and obsolete gadgets is a CRT monitor. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you buy a CRT monitor in 2019? Are you completely fucking retarded? Maybe yes, but the main reasons are the following. CRT monitors don't have a fixed resolution. That's insane. You're gonna think, hold up. Every monitor has a fixed resolution, right? Like everyone has a native resolution, like my LCD has, I don't know, like 720p, or my personal monitors that I use, one of them is a full HD monitor, so it must be full HD, like it must be 1080 progressive. Come on. Well, CRTs don't work like that. Since they have a different method of displaying the screen, displaying the image, they can have ridiculously high resolutions. And people need to realize what you're seeing is not pixels. Those are rays shot at a piece of glass. Those are not individual pixels being lit up by 3 lights. This is the difference between a cathode ray tube TV or monitor and an LED monitor, or any monitor that has individual pixels on the screen. The refresh rate is what makes the resolution so high. So we got amazing resolutions with something that many people would consider a piece of junk. Okay, what's the next reason? It's inexpensive. There is no one in this world right now wanting a CRT monitor. Everyone throws them out. No one likes them. You can get a CRT monitor today for free when you just walk around town and search for one. I guarantee you there will be something out there if you live in a country where, you know, you have trash everywhere, like Italy. Italy is the best country for salvaging old electronics because everyone just throws that shit out the window. And you can just scrap everything. You can go on a fucking, you can just get electron guns from TVs and no one will care. So yeah, you can just get these things for free. And just be sure, CRT monitors and TVs, if you have no idea what you're doing, don't open them up. You can kill yourself. These things have a lot of built-up voltage. Just as a public service announcement, don't open these TVs and stick your dirty little sausage fingers in them, or your wiener, because you will die if you don't know what you're doing. I didn't kill myself, luckily, but for instance, I modified a TV, and this is another thing you can do with obsolete media. They're so inexpensive, you can just experiment with them and take them apart and learn about technology and how it works. And I for instance, modified a TV to function as an oscillator. No, not oscillator, an oscilloscope. That was pretty good. But yeah. Another reason why a CRT monitor is amazing: color. CRTs are amazing at reproducing accurate color, especially because they can display true black. Then, another reason: no input lag. They don't have input lag. When you play games, you have slightly faster response times than with digital monitors. In my opinion, that's great. Also, these things also are near indestructible. They just don't die. You can't have dead pixels because there are no pixels on the screen. And using software and playing games on a CRT monitor just is different. There is something about them that feels different. Playing CSS is just not the same on an LED monitor, or LCD, or OLED, or whatever it is. It just is different. Also, things like, I guess you can correlate that to photography or film. Like, if you use obsolete media or obsolete devices, it's an artistic style, or it's something is to it, something is different, and you see it. And sometimes technology is just way better than people might want you to believe. For instance, cassettes. People say they suck, but they don't. They're actually much better than you think. Or another great example, when people talk about older computers, back then that computer sucked. Or, well, back then, like, computers were so old and the technology in them is not relevant today. Well, that doesn't hold up. The laptop that I am using now, a ThinkPad that is 12 years old, is way better than a laptop that is maybe 10 years old. Or 9. It's definitely a bit more modern than the old ThinkPad. It even has the IBM branding on it. So, it's complicated. But I have to say, it's a great thing to explore. And I hope that more people get interested in obsolete media and why it is interesting. I hope more people get to appreciate and understand the development of technology through understanding obsolete media. And I also hope that people will be appreciative of the obscure sides of obsolete media, because that's another thing. Obscure media is just a magnet for like all the weird stuff you can find. You can find so much weird fucking shit, and it's amazing. Like, I don't know. I think if you look long enough, you can find videos on VHS of murderers fucking confessing to their fucking crimes. You could uncover crimes. You could uncover dark secrets. Or you can find a video of a furry masturbating in a fursuit from the 1950s. So there are many, many different things you could find on obsolete media. And that is what keeps me from... that is what keeps me using them. That is what keeps me interested in them. And that is what keeps me wanting to, instead of getting the newest tech, to just get the oldest tech, or at least use the oldest tech with the newest tech. But yeah, I guess just with many other things in life, it always comes down to taste. Some people are ass man. Some people are tits man. I just like old TVs. And ass.